I'm ambushing you with this topic because I know you don't like talking so much so frequently about this team, but we have to. Purdue's overseas trip has ended. They are 4-0. You can look at the numbers. The numbers are incredible. I'll talk about some of the numbers here and there, but I have a different question. And I think I'm the first person who's asked this question anywhere. I'm pretty excited about it.
I know what you're going to ask.
You don't. You think I'm going to ask, would Purdue be better without Zach Edey? I'm not going to ask that because Zach Edey's the best player in the country. I am going to ask you this. Where would this Purdue team be ranked heading into the season if Zach Edey did not exist? If this Purdue team had TKR, Caleb First, Miles Colvin, Hamden Hyde, Fletcher Lawyer, Braden Smith, all these dudes who looked awesome overseas, 4-0. They just didn't have Zach Edey, who was taking pictures holding a trophy with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's arm around him. Where would this team be ranked?
I probably had them easily top 15, easily. I probably had them at just on the safe side, keep it moving. I think 11.
Yeah, without naming names, like this is a top 10-ish team, right? Without
Yeah,
Zach Edey, they are a top 10-ish team in the country.
yeah.
That's insane. Like I maybe that's a different way to frame should we take Purdue serious or not, but I think that's a really fascinating way to look at this because I think people get swept up in like why I'm so excited about Purdue and why I keep leading the bandwagon and gassing them up is, oh, it's Zach Edey, he's the best player in the country. Why I'm so excited about Purdue and why I think it's different than last year's all the new guys, everything else that's new. And oh, by the way, they still have the best player in the country. So I really think was going through in my head. I think without Zach Edey, truly, I think this would be like the 7th or 8th best team in the country. I think they're that deep. I think they're that loaded. Like they wouldn't match Kansas. They'd be behind Michigan State without Edey. But I think it'd be close, honestly. Like they're in that next group for me of like Kentucky and UConn-ish of like all this young talent. Like they are talented, man. TKR, whenever Zach Edey's not on this team, TKR is going to be an all Big Ten center immediately.
We got to pump the brakes a tiny bit.
On TKR?
Just on this was a foreign tour, okay? Some of the teams that were played on this tour, like don't get me wrong, yes, there's a reason to be excited, but let's just pump it just a tiny bit. Let's just
But
take a step back.
You have eyes. Like you watched some of these games. There's differences between the way Purdue looked on this tour, even with the competition stuff aside, than the way teams that are also playing overseas in this conference, like Iowa and Nebraska and Illinois, or outside of this conference, even like Arizona, USC, like this looks different. Like they're not just clanking shots. Like they're making shots, and TKR looks like a superstar.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like you're putting just a bit too much stock into what they're doing on this foreign tour. I agree it's exciting. I agree it's something that Purdue fans should hold in a high regard, but I don't know. I gotta see it in an actual game setting. I'm still on wait and see with this, this mode.
TKR averaged 18 points and 8 rebounds on this trip, shot 37% from three, made a 3 in 3 of the 4 games.
TKR is gonna be in foul trouble every single game he plays.
Braden Smith, 6-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. And I know you're about to just start laughing that I'm bringing up an assist to turnover ratio.
I'm not. No, that's special. That is.
If you watch,
we saw Braden Smith do that for a whole half a season, then fall apart.
But like the way he is controlling the games on this trip is different than last year. And it's largely because Edey's not there. Now that does bring up some conversations like what is Purdue going to look like in the post Edey era versus when they're so focused on getting the best player in the country the ball. But like Braden Smith gets wherever he wants and creates a wide open look for someone every possession. That's all he just did for like 160 minutes of games. And he doesn't turn it over. Like I'm just so wildly impressed by him. Colvin and Hyde combined for 11 for 15 from 3, Cart. Like I don't care if the competition level stinks. Illinois just made 16 threes as a team in 3 games, and 2 true freshmen in a Purdue uniform for the first time ever off the bench are 11 for 15. And the question was, can they shoot? Like I'm sorry. I know I'm leading the propaganda machine, but I think people should realize it's not just about Edey, and it's not like the same team. Like they were so Edey centric there. That's why they're going to have issues again. Nah, I think this team could be a Final Four team if Zach Edey didn't exist. They just so happen to also have Zach Edey this year. And that's how people should view them. And that's why you should probably consider like maybe elevating them into Kansas territory of this could be the number one team in the country.
See, that's where I'm not with you. They're not a Final Four team without Zach Edey.
I guess we'll never know because Zach Edey is incredible.
Wait and see.
Can I make an argument at least?
Yeah, of course. I heard your whole argument. It's great points, elite points.
Okay. All right, moving on. That might be the last time we talk about Purdue for a while. So deep breath for you.
Thank God, man.
Be all right. We'll be
I'm,
all right.
I'm serious. I'm sorry. I need a Purdue break.